And we're live. Welcome, everyone, to Wednesday's edition of VWP, Violent Wrestling Podcast. As always, I'm Mox, the one that talks. I talk funny, and as always, there's always four of us. Next Wednesday, this will come later. There's going to be five of us. But as always, Ambrose Alley. And apparently she doesn't want to talk, so Matt, oh Matt, I swear to
Hey,
fuck if all you guys know sell my introduction. Shut up. The snickering you hear is Adam Rice. You can find
I thought it
him.
was snorting. Maybe
Well,
snorting
I was
Simpsons.
doing that. I was doing that off screen. Off. Yeah.
Please never come on screen. Please, I've seen you on screen. Please don't do that to our friends.
You just can handle what all I'm bringing to the table.
My milkshake brings all the voice. Oh, never mind.
Don't.
Sir, you started it. AA might have taken Cassie out right before we went live. But anyway, since we just talked yesterday, last night, um, oh, there's AA. How was everybody's day?
Doing pretty well. Got Metallica's Master of Puppets CD, and now I'm eating the Dave's Double from Wendy's.
Ooh,
Oh, I had their barbecue cheeseburger today
there her is.
from Wendy's. It was delicious.
You guys seem to get Wendy's on the same days, like
It's
commonly. Like
funny
seriously,
because I
every
rarely
time.
eat Wendy's anymore.
It's
But
ESP.
but
Yeah.
when
ESP.
you do AA,
Clearly Burger King is a superior burger joint.
clearly, I mean, they
Yes.
just happen to be one of our sponsors. Clearly, you go to Burger King. And for those that don't know, and which means nobody cares, um, Friday, I actually had me some Burger King. Oh,
He was in heaven.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, I was. Nothing special, just a Whopper with 10-piece spicy nuggets. And for whatever reason, wife got me two orders of large fries, which I gave one to Morris. Oh,
Sir, sir,
sir.
when you're eating Burger King, something special always happens.
Oh, absolutely. You have it
Another
your way,
artery bites the dust.
sir. Well, I don't want to go into detail with your sir. Speaking
Just
of which,
saying.
um, have you laid off the fast food?
What's the short answer for no? Actually, I haven't really. I mean, I've had a little bit here or there, but I'm gonna go talk to the referred dietitian that my doctor referred me to this Saturday. See what happens with that. The only problem is that I don't believe my insurance covers it.
Oh,
So,
Oh,
ouch.
so I'm gonna go
and
talk to
you work for the government, and they don't cover it.
federal. Well, we have a federal plan, and the plan I'm on doesn't cover certain things. And this is
I'm
my
trying to figure
is
out which is worse, going to see a doctor on a fucking Saturday, or it not being covered by your insurance.
um. How about going to a doctor on a Saturday and having to spend an hour to an hour and a half there?
Um, and I'm only doing this because I love you. Don't get mad at me. I'm not going to put too much of your business out there. Um, Adam Rice, as I call him. Um, some issues, so positive thoughts and stuff his way.
Yeah,
If you guys don't mind.
it's all in what I can control. So until the doctor's appointment, I may try to sneak in another pizza.
See, this is your problem, sir.
Oh, I know it's a problem. I enjoy food. That's
You
pretty
you
much the
you,
problem.
you sneak in a lot of shit.
Yeah, just like the
I love.
WWE tried to sneak by breaking up the Riot Squad.
Oh, okay. Who wants the floor first on this one? Because I have a rant.
Yay, rant, Mox.
No, somebody start first. Let me compose myself before I rant.
Oh, you're no fun.
They Liv went to SmackDown, leaving Sarah and Ruby on Raw. So there's no more
And it
trio
sounds
Riot
like
Squad.
it also sounds like they're going to split Ruby and Sarah.
Yeah. Um, what are your thoughts on there being no more of the greatest faction in the history of wrestling?
Just that WWE likes to destroy factions.
No fun league.
And would you say that's a fact?
That's a
Really?
fact, Jack.
That's a fact, Jack.
What do you think about it, Matt?
Um, it sucks. Certainly. Like, if you are going to do this, why not make an angle out of it? But um, it
See,
sucks, obviously.
I'm
But
I
But
like big butts and I cannot lie.
damn it.
but I hope that this is a blessing in disguise for all three of them. Hopefully, they use this as an opportunity to turn Ruby face to let her show what she can do.
I'm here for that.
Um, this could be a good opportunity to either keep Sarah as a heel or maybe turn her into a face, have her kind of reprise her crazy Mary Dodson role, just have her kind of be like a psychotic character, maybe do a bit of a psychotic feud with Nikki Cross, maybe. I think that could be interesting. Liv Morgan could be a bit of a mid card face, ultra face on SmackDown. So
Where does
hopefully
that leave?
they do need to use this.
Because they stacked the SmackDown Women's division. Where does that leave Liv? I mean, she's literally solo out of the squad. She's
Um, I'll go next, and I have strong feelings on this, as I know you do, Mox. Um,
oh,
despite,
I was about to rant. I was about to rant.
I mean, I want to save your rant for last if you're going to rant. Despite their porous booking when they got called up, they somehow managed to just work. They they gave them no real character direction, no real time to shine. They were pretty much enhancement talent when you look at it, but I was drawn to them
Yes. Like when they got called up, it was an absolutely what the fuck are they doing together?
because they remember they got called up the same night as Absolution,
Yes. Well, not no. They got called up, and then
same week.
Absolution got called up. Yeah, the next night, Absolution got called up,
So
and
we
which
were
was kind of a mirror image of
they were mirroring each other,
yes,
and but they had less initial kayfabe reason to be together than
yeah,
Absolution.
yeah. Absolution like
Made
somewhat made
sense
sense. Yeah, to a degree.
because because
Bringing Liv,
Paige.
Sarah, and Ruby up as the team and calling them the Riot Squad and putting two T's on Riot. like, well, that's random as fuck, but holy hell, did it work?
It never worked on screen. It
Bullshit.
all in presentation.
Bullshit.
They were never given anything.
Okay, I get what you're saying there, but it worked on screen.
But they made it work on screen in the little bit of character time they were given.
Yeah, despite everything, it fucking worked. And if somebody says it didn't work, you're wrong. Go sit in the corner with your wrong opinion because the that trio worked.
What's the and it seemed like they received very little to if any character notes.
Yeah,
Liv
they
Morgan
were
Liv Morgan came up with the blue tongue by accident.
by accident.
And since
And now
no
my
one's
son eats blue Jolly Ranchers because he wants to be Liv Morgan. Honest to God, I can probably go in there right now. His tongue's gonna be blue.
it was something simple that other people could do, become attached to, and then mimic it for their own. They didn't get merch the way some others did. Their beanies sold out, but the
Yeah,
T-shirt never did.
the t-shirts didn't sell well for one. Look at the design of the t-shirt.
Well, that's an issue across the board, but
Well, yeah, that's a problem. Like WWE shop either hit, excuse me, either hits it out of the park or it's foul ball after foul ball after foul ball. Every once in a while, it's a grand slam, but there's no middle ground of, well, it's kind of decent. It's either holy, what the fuck am I looking at, or I want that right now. There's like no middle ground in their graphic designing on their t-shirts.
it
So my rant,
yeah, knock it out.
sir, sir,
That's what she said.
There you go.
sir. And there's gonna be some hyperbole in here. Just hear me out. WWE, you had the female version of the Shield, but dare I say, better. You had, because if you look at everything from their presentation on screen, backstage interviews that they put on YouTube, their Twitter exchanges, you had three people, a female faction for once, for fucking once, a female faction that just clicked. It clicked with the audience. They clicked. It was just joy. It was just happiness. And you fucking stole our happiness away from us. Anytime, anytime any of them would tweet, anytime any of them were on our screens, it's it was fun. And we knew going in, they're not going to win this match. They're not going to win this match. We knew their role. Yes, we would amongst ourselves ask for, can they get a fucking win here and there? But we knew their role. We still accepted them. We loved them. What the fuck? And to put Liv on SmackDown when you already brought everybody else to fuck on SmackDown. You're stupid. That was a stupid decision. I don't really agree with Rice with the do a breakup angle. At least they can still come back. together where there was no Seth Rollins chair shot, but which I mean, even hell, they came back, but they're flashing their lights. But there was why for what purpose?
It's because
This better
this
go ahead.
this company literally invested no time, no resources, no on-screen development. Um, put them out there gave them something to work with, bare bones it, and then proceeded to just be like, okay, you're good. This is good enough, and we're going to feed you to people. And then when that didn't work, they went when it came to the shakeup time. They were, well, why? They're going, well, I guess this didn't work. Let's split them up. You gave them nothing to make it work.
But that's my thing. It did fucking work. It did.
What we know from WWE is that unless it blows up, they're not going to pay attention to social media.
Well, and I get what you're and I know what you're saying, and hopefully you know what I'm saying. It
Uh,
did work.
we derived, we enjoyed it because we cared enough to
And,
look behind the curtain.
yes, and not just like three pretty girls because they're all very attractive women, all three of them. This was for one with Sarah Logan and Ruby, going back to their earlier days before NXT. Like they're really good. Sarah I only saw a little bit of, but surely we've all seen Ruby.
Heidi Loveless.
Yeah, outside of WWE. Um, really good. And to go from when they got called up to, like I said earlier, what the fuck? Why are they? And why are they called Riot Squad with two T's? To very shortly thereafter, hey, I like them. To very shortly after that, I really like them. To very shortly after that, I love this trio. I love them together. They love each other.
They passed up an opportunity.
I blame Brie Bella. Just fuck it.
This was happening before that happened.
Oh, I know.
Uh,
I'm talking about why they broke up. Like how if I can put blame on a Bella, I will always take the opportunity.
um, what the opportunity they missed here is that
They
there
didn't
was a
do
there was a
anything. They didn't do anything.
they didn't establish them as being dominant.
No,
They
and
came into
right.
the roster and there was a chance for them come in like the Shield did. If you're going to be the Riot
Yes.
Squad and try to be this agent of chaos and havoc,
That fucking
be
caused
that.
riots, chaos, and havoc.
Jump,
Exactly.
interrupt matches, beat people down, stand tall, cut the break.
And look at the time we're in right now. Look at the time. We have SmackDown, although both those belts are on one person at the moment, momentarily. We have a SmackDown and Raw Women's Champion. We have tag team champions. Why the fuck are you breaking up a faction when they can go for everything? They can go for the tag belts. They can go for the singles. Just like the Shield did. Dean was U.S. champ and Seth and Roman were tag champs. Dean never defended the U.S. championship, but that's neither here nor there. But it's right fucking there. What are you doing? Like you're taking if you want to make your and I know the Iconics are tag team champions. Hooray. Can I get a hallelujah, Matt?
Hallelujah.
There we go.
Okay. That wasn't Matt, but But it's right there. If the tag champions are supposed to go everywhere, you have it right in place of somebody that can be tag champ and still have a single person. Hello, New Day.
The problem is they came in before the tag belts were even thought of.
I know, but that's when.
But by
Why
the
do it?
time, the tag belts were being thought of, they were being designed strictly for Bailey and Sasha.
True, and I get all of that. Don't get me wrong, I get all of that. But what I don't get is, okay, it's here now. Why split them up? What fucking tag teams do you have in the women's division? Oh, here's a great idea. Let's pair Asuka with Kairi Sane. They're both Japanese.
So it totally works, right? I mean, they're
Yeah,
totally Japanese, so of course they're a tag team.
totally.
So you
Like
break
that.
up
That's
one
just.
tag team for the sake of creating another, and you've
And at
broken
the
up.
same time, you take one of the most best. I don't like her per se. I loved Kana Asuka. I haven't liked since her NXT undefeated stuff. And you, at the same time, take one of the most um, developed and best singles competitor out of the women's singles division. Like you just fucked up everything across the board, all in one swoop.
I think I can basically sum it up like this: they've botched this entire shakeup.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
Matt, what do you think? Do you like the shake up or do you not? Did we lose Matt?
oh, I hear him, Matt.
Yeah,
He's eating his Wendy's.
I am
Well,
actually.
we'll let you chew. But when you get a moment,
I remote.
just the shakeup, but without detail, just your overall thoughts on the shakeup. Did they botch it, or you did you think it was good?
It's a bit of a mixed bag to be honest. SmackDown got some really good talent. Like Bailey, sorry, Angel, but it's true.
Well, yeah, you know
Like I,
Wing only does that to be
Oh, I
antagonistic.
know.
He,
I'm just joking with him. If
yeah,
he's listening, I mean, I'm telling you guys, we needed to have him in this top five tonight. That would have made this show amazing.
isn't that dude still at work?
There's no
Your
stopping the top
chair is.
five.
Uh, there was a. I see what you're saying with the mixed bag stuff,
Well,
but
I mean,
the
but yeah, I mean, it has been a bit of a mixed bag. SmackDown definitely got the better superstars, and they got Bailey, Ember
let's stick.
Moon, who could have a breakout year. And they
Yeah,
got
let's just stick
they
with
got
the women in the shakeup for now.
they got Roman.
that's
They
the big
got
one.
who
Sure.
else? I mean, Roman is definitely like the big one. He was
Sure.
someone who I was hoping would change brands.
Let's
I don't think he needed it. It was time for a change in
let's stick
scenery.
with let's stick with the women for now.
You
Well,
you,
Roman.
you asked me my overall thoughts.
Yeah, and then I'll whittled it down to let's stick with just the women since that's what.
Because yeah, because the the thing is, when we look at the shakeup from the women's division point of view, is two things are painfully evident. SmackDown got the better end of the deal, and Raw is absolutely decimated.
Not quite. They still have Becky Lynch.
Well, here's the thing: Becky's going to be on both shows, so
I was
let's
about to
take
say, but that's Becky two shows, so she's on Raw and SmackDown. So you can't say that.
Becky
The way it
off the
needs to
top.
be.
I'm going to take Becky off the top because
And why would you do
Matt,
such a thing?
Matt wants Becky to be Raw Women's Champion, SmackDown Women's Champion, NXT Women's Champion, and NXT UK Women's Champion, which you can fuck right off because that's Tony Storm's title.
Not for long.
That, sir, sir. Fuck it, go to Impact, get their Knockouts champion.
I mean, they could
Become
use some credibility.
They
just go take the Women of Honor championship because no one's
They
looking.
they'd
need some
fucking give it to
credibility as
her
well.
anyway. I'm surprised they don't just drop it off. Fucking Ring of Honor, they are literally the last on the list of
With
national televised promotions now. They are dead
Have her be
last.
like
Impact.
Ultimate Dragon, give her all the belts.
she's the new Super J-Cup.
Well,
But
you guys remember that picture I shared a few months
yeah,
ago?
of Becky
Yeah,
with all the belts.
all the belts.
It's
Even
the
ones
way
that
it
don't
should be.
exist anymore. Um,
Yeah,
the thing is, what they've done is they've sacrificed pieces they could have used to reconstitute them in ways that we now have to get reintroduced to. If
and
let me say off the top, if they put Sarah Logan with the Viking experience,
oh
that's
god,
every bit as lazy as putting Asuka and Kyrie together.
it's actually lazier
Yes,
because that's just fucking stupid.
because in that scenario, she immediately becomes a valet.
Yeah,
Because that's how it
Lana,
works.
Selena, hello. You Lana can or
That's
can't wrestle. That's up to. Selena can wrestle,
yeah, she can, but here's the
but
thing.
if you're gonna
Ugh,
pigeonhole Sarah in a valet position,
release her.
it, that's just wrong. That's
And that leads me to an idea I was toying with earlier,
oh
but I'll
god.
save until we get through some more of this conversation.
I
Um,
don't know if the Browns are going to win the Super Bowl this year.
no, sir, it wasn't that, because we all know they will.
Seriously, yeah, because you've brought it up a few times on air and just through conversation. I swear to fuck, if you send me a Baker Mayfield jersey, if I get that in my mail, I will set that son of a bitch on fire and send it back to you while it's on fire.
But it's
I
a
know that's a
kid's
federal
jersey.
offense. Be- I'm not making that joke. I'm not making that joke.
It's a gift for
Oh, you son of a bitch.
I mean, if you're going to set it on fire, you might as well put it in the oven so you can bake it.
Becky would be ashamed.
Becky is
She would
rolling
be
over in her
proud.
grave.
She'd be so proud.
But the reason, look, the reason why we let off with the Riot Squad is because, like we said at the top, we've enjoyed them. At least me and Box have. I won't speak for the
Alo-
group.
Saying
yeah,
I don't
along with
enjoy.
Well, as you know, you've seen firsthand that we enjoy ourselves some squad,
So to
sure.
and
speak.
uh, so it the
Hey, and
one
I know you don't, and I don't mean to cut Rice off. I kind of do,
yeah,
but I don't. But Rice, just hold your thought for a second. AA,
I'm
I
holding it.
know you didn't watch, but just what we've talked about with the women's division, it's basically everybody on SmackDown and just a few pieces on Raw. Isn't that kind of why you prefer like the Lockets and Rocky Mountain Pro over the women's division and WWE.
I prefer the Lockettes division and Rocky Mountain Pro because of the main reason I prefer watching the men's and Rocky Mountain Pro is because they have storylines and
They stick with them.
they stick with the storylines and the characters and they work on getting their characters over organically. They don't force them. If something doesn't work, they'll tweak it a little till they get what
I brought
works.
I brought that up as a hard plug for next Wednesday, 10 Eastern, 9 Central, 8 Mountain, 7 Pacific. We will be having. She works around the country. She's also a Rocky Mountain Pro Lockette. Shayla Hyde will be on a guest on our show next Wednesday. That's going to be fun. Do some research. Anybody listening, Google Shayla Hyde. Look her up on Twitter. Um, and she's a great wrestler. She has great character. She plays a witch, which is really cool. How it's not like a witch like Wizard of Oz, like good witch, bad witch. Um, she plays um, there's a word for it that I'm not thinking of at the moment. Uh,
Wiccan?
uh, yeah, kind of Wiccan, but a, l- a little more to the witch side. Like it's Wiccan, and you might know better than I what I'm trying to describe, which is sad since I can't describe what I'm my own thoughts. But she plays a pretty cool character. She's really nice, and she's getting her younger sister um, involved in wrestling, which we'll be covering that too. Um, Her younger sister is about to graduate and is moving wherever she can to go to a wrestling academy, and we'll cover all that next week because her younger sister's really interested in it.
Well, I know the Perfect Wrestling Academy, but well, I know two of
Well,
them.
well, true. I,
But
Not to get way off topic, I think the only two options are um, her staying in Texas and going to an academy, or I want to say Indiana. We'll cover all that next week.
uh,
But what?
to get back to where we were.
No, let's don't.
Okay. Okay.
So, like I was saying, Sasha Banks starts the match
Oh,
against.
I hate you so much. Oh, you need to settle down, sir.
That is the funniest 10 to 15 minutes in the history of Violent Wrestling Podcast. Maybe it's
And
up
then,
there in the history of any wrestling podcast. When I re-listen to myself, and I'm in tears just based on how much you guys are laughing, and I did it twice. Like I knew what was coming, and I still was in tears both times. Literally, I shit you not, was in tears. That was the funniest fucking thing.
uh, we will talk about SmackDown. We'll just work on our way into it.
I thought
Um,
we already basically did.
did we?
We just talked about the
No,
women's division.
isn't that SmackDown?
It pretty much feels like it now. But
Um,
to wrap that little bow up, because we will pretty much continually be talk about it, but we're just going to set it aside. Um, it sucks when you see people who are entertaining not get that chance to entertain the way you
Yes.
think they can.
Yes, and that goes to a lot of people.
Um,
To add a little bit to that, it sucks when you know people are truly best friends off screen get separated because I mean when Sarah had her wedding, bridesmaids,
Yeah.
Liv, Ruby, I
Jessamine was
mean
there.
we don't talk about Mary and
Well, Jessamine, not Maria.
uh, well, I
Uh,
was gonna trying to
Shayna,
remember.
Tegan, they were all there, but
Okay, we can talk
you,
about Tegan.
sir, um, you saw just through social media, you saw the camaraderie, you saw how these three individual parts came together,
Yes,
and and that happens on the road all the time. You end up bonding with people you probably never would have thought you'd bond with. And that's
right.
what happened here. And it meant so much to them that they came up together. They got it tattooed on them.
Yes,
They
their call up day, November 27th, 2011. No, I'm live on a podcast, baby. But you can play your PlayStation. Who? Okay, there you go. Okay, sorry about that.
so it's you just hate to see that when the real life comes through
Yes, which it
and
did so much.
uh,
Like their love for each other on screen wasn't an act. That's how they truly are.
but now they're going to have to figure out how to do it on their own in the
Especially,
WWE,
especially Liv.
especially Liv.
They're
Now
gonna be on different shows, different dates, even house shows now. They're gonna be different cities.
there is some fan speculation, mostly myself and a couple other people, who they might pair Liv up with Sonya and
Don't you
Mandy.
say it.
Team Jersey. Do I think that happens? No. But they're going to have to figure out now on the main roster how to succeed as a single star. And, and that,
Which I get that, and this is like let's go back to when Carmella got called up,
hmm
um, uh, and how let's just be polite and say that was not good.
Carm figured
But
it out.
but when she turned heel and figured it out, and 3 years later, look at her. Like I'm, you guys know me. I do not use the word buried, and I actually despise the word. Um, so I'm not saying Liv is going to be buried or she's already buried.
But
It
she
might
has a
take some time.
tall
It
mountain
yeah,
to climb.
yeah,
So,
exact. You get it.
so what you're saying is that Liv is going to have a royal celebration in a few years.
Yes.
Sure, we'll go with that.
But we'll tie that bow there and leave it
Yeah.
alone. I love
Sorry,
my.
guys. We just really love the Riot Squad. Like,
We enjoyed this
obviously.
con, and it
Shout
sucks.
out to Matt DSM.
Yes. Uh, we could we could wax poetic about the squad all night, and hell, we just might do it. But
I'm
we
sure they're going to come back up later in conversation.
probably.
At
Um,
least, at least it'll be waxing poetic, and that's all.
Sir.
sir,
Sir.
sir.
Hey, will you get a control of your employees, please?
But SmackDown as a whole from last night. Um,
The opening segment from SmackDown,
was
holy
fire.
fuck, if that isn't the one of the best segments I've ever seen, much less I will go as far as saying it's the best segment I've seen in a long time.
Montreal was hot for Kevin Owens and the New Day.
They
That
they were that crowd was nuts.
the whole knighting KO with the unicorn horn.
That him gyrating, but you can't move your hips like Biggie and Kevin. It was if you haven't seen it, and I'm sure they uploaded it. I don't know how
It's
much
on
of the segment
YouTube.
there.
Trust me. I've
Yeah.
seen it.
Like I don't know how much of the segment is on there.
The whole thing.
Search good. Watch it. If you didn't watch SmackDown last night, in fact, when we get off this podcast, I'll go to YouTube and rewatch that segment. That segment was everything. You have the comedy aspect of it. You have the serious aspect of it. You have the crowd just fucking berserk for Kevin and Kofi, and it was damn if we could get that, which I know it's
Speaking,
not plausible, but if we could get that in every segment of every show, holy, your ratings would be back up to the nines.
yeah, that was fun. All of that was fun. And
That
then
was
right,
great.
and then right after that,
Yeah, which what a perfect way to end the segment is catch your breath.
catch your
Finn
breath.
Balor
Finn
is
Balor,
on.
Mustafa Ali. I'm gonna call him Mustafa Ali because it's his
Yes, I
fucking name.
refuse. I refuse to.
They
Just like
first
with the War Raiders, I'm not calling them the.
Viking experience. I'm not doing it.
Nope.
There isn't an amount of
Just
money you
like
can pay me to do it.
the Iconics. They're
That was
the iconic
$100.
duo.
$100 is not enough.
Well, sir, you
Every
have that
man
doctor
has
appointment
a
Saturday
price.
that's your
Everybody's
insurance
gonna
will.
pay
You
because
might
I'm
need
the
that $100.
$1 million man, and you will be bought.
Oh, good grief!
You need to
Everyone
stop
has,
drinking coffee.
everyone has a price for the $1 million man.
Well, he's gonna have to cut a pretty big check because I'm not saying the War Raiders in their name, and I'm not saying just Ali. It's Mustafa Ali, and they gave us Mustafa Ali versus Finn Balor right out of the gates.
What about this doctor appointment Saturday? Don't you?
I'll be worried about that later. Uh,
Um, first things first. Um, just like anybody with a pulse. Um, for one, I can't look at Finn Balor anymore without thinking about a corn on the cob, but that's a whole different. Um,
That was
sir,
just wrong. That
sir,
was just
you,
wrong.
did you see it, AA? When I
I
tweeted?
saw it.
Okay, yeah.
That's wrong.
Whoever did that, excuse me. Um, my
I don't know
wife.
about you, but I thought that picture was quite corny.
Oh God. Oh, okay. Becky's a little prouder of you now. So
you
my
mean that picture
wife.
came with the tennis racket?
Oh Jesus, fuck. What are we doing? I thought I was the one on medicine and stuff, talking incoherently.
Okay, now you continue.
Um, so my wife and I can tell like anytime Finn's music hits, like, because I kind of do the same thing, like, ooh. Um, she insists. She's like, who do I have to write a letter to make sure he always wears blue trunks? I'm like,
You're just like I'm right here.
I was about to say, I'm right here, and I agree.
Yeah, Finn's too pretty. But I'm
um, so,
happy. I'm happy they gave us this match right out of the gate.
yeah,
Establishes Finn, and kind of reestablishes Mustafa Ali.
yes, and it lets us know that it confirms Joe is sick, and Joe will be on Monday Night Raw
Hmm.
with the U.S. title probably next Monday because
But
they're not
can
going
I
to have the ice.
complain about the Montreal crowd here for a minute?
Yeah, because the one time they were not hot all night was during this match. So proceed.
They are literally giving you, Montreal is one of those hot, smoky crowd cities. When they come through, it's more than just that they're in Canada, and Canada is always a little weird. Uh,
It's bizarre world
Blame,
now.
blame
uh,
Canada.
always do.
But this is specifically Montreal. And for those that don't get that, the Montreal Screwjob from 1997. If
They're
you,
always a little on edge. And
yes,
in this match, when they're giving us Finn Balor, Mustafa Ali, something that particular crowd should be hot for. What are they doing 2 minutes into the match? Too sweet, whoop whoop, too sweet, whoop. I wanted to bitch smack a French Canadian so bad.
Well, Finn Balor was in the match.
I get that's why they're doing it. I'm saying, why?
right. Like
They're just having fun, Maggle.
I,
Uh,
25% of me said they were like we were like, holy shit, we get Mustafa Ali versus Finn Balor. This is too sweet. Whoop whoop. But at the same time, 75% of me says, don't do that. Like fucking enjoy the match. If nothing, just chant holy shit during the entire match.
do something that shows you're engaged, not that.
Yeah, that's too. And I get that the Finn Balor stuff. Um,
But really, Finn Balor wasn't even a part of the club when that was a thing.
no, that came when AJ.
So, again, why are you doing that?
Fans want to be
Because Finn
smarter than
Balor's in
they
the match.
think they are. But yeah, this was fucking mad. Damn it.
It is. I know I
Uh,
can't. I can't control the crowd.
oh, I bet you can. Carry us to Montreal.
There is a button on a remote called mute. I
Shit.
True, true. But then you're losing
do it
something.
all the time,
You're
especially
losing
with Miz
something. Uh, it, I want to hear the crowd because the crowd adds to the experience. It just
Especially
does.
after that opening segment.
Would
Like
you
the
say the
crowd.
WWE experience?
God,
Oh, for fuck's sake.
motherfucker.
Mute this man. Mute him now.
Uh,
5 minutes corner. 5 minutes for fighting. 5 minutes for fucking lame joke. You're out.
Hey, I saw an
You're an
opening
ass.
and I took it.
if you don't stop, I'm gonna make you
Oh
listen.
God. What have we done to Matt? He was
We've corrupted Matt.
he was
If you
so
don't stop,
pure.
I'm gonna make you sit in the corner and listen to 1998 Michael Cole commentary.
Oh,
Is it symbolic? Is it symbolic?
No, it is.
jumping way ahead. We'll get right back to this, but at least we don't have to hear Michael Cole anymore saying the big dog, the big dog, the big
Yeah,
dog.
or
At
it's boss
least,
time, or it.
well, we don't know about that yet,
The
but
the
we don't.
incredible man who does extraordinary things, or whatever the fuck they call Finn Balor.
the sir, the extraordinary man that does extraordinary things.
Fuck that.
It's the same fucking word. What the fuck? And they keep doing it. Like you would have thought, like after it got brought to their attention on the million tweets they were sent, like extraordinary and extraordinary are the same
It's the
thing.
extraordinary is the root of extraordinary. Take out the
So
fucking hyphen. Jesus, I now see why
uh,
they need a continuity script person.
yeah, we'll save that for later. Um, but yeah, we got Mustafa Ali versus Finn Balor, which
Finn wins. Great match.
yeah, it's Mustafa
Awesome
Ali and
opener.
Finn Balor. Yeah,
Great way to get that crowd involved and energized.
it worked great for two reasons, like you say. Okay, Mustafa Ali's back on the map, and a way to debut Finn on SmackDown. His
Yep.
first SmackDown match ever.
And then after this was a what did we get
Uh,
after this?
oh, how many times did they do the? Excuse me, the Bray promos.
Oh God! And now, by the
Uh,
way, they've added ventriloquist dummies.
yes, that's. I don't
I
remember if it's
mean,
the third one or
I
the.
don't know about you, but I think Jeff Dunham's wrestling career is going to go pretty speedily. He didn't go through NXT first, so I'm a bit unsure about it, but I think he'll do
This
well as you know.
motherfucker.
I kill you.
Oh
I
my
was
God!
gonna.
Can
Damn
we
it,
have
A.
a
Damn it, I was gonna
can,
do that, A.
can we
Boom!
have
I
a
kill you.
can we have Ahmed on Raw now, please? Wait, no, Walter, because
Yes, I want Walter. Don't we already have Walter
I
on
want
both shows?
Walter and Walter. I want
No, no,
Walter.
I don't mean Walter. Like the new. I mean, isn't Vince kind of a Walter?
Exactly.
Yes.
And Walter is every pissant the IWC member who bitches on their Twitter account.
And now I need if we're gonna go all out, like I need jalapeno on a stick.
Say,
I mean Jose on a stick.
he's the new member of the Lucha House Party.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
He comes out in a little mask.
Oh God! Oh, we're terrible.
Terrible,
No,
terrible people.
not even a mask.
Terrible,
Just like a
terrible.
fucking. Oh, I can't think. I can't think.
It's the codeine.
Uh, just a yes, it is. It's the coding for sure. Just a Zorro mask, like not a
The,
mask. Just a Zorro.
okay, we're now down the rabbit hole. Um,
That's where I like to be.
hey now. Uh,
Oh,
I don't know what the end goal is with these, but these things are so dumb it just might work.
are you
Uh,
talking about our podcast or WWE?
the, both, both. These Bray Wyatt vignettes, they're dumb, but they might work.
What I was saying, I can't remember if it was the third one because I think they did three. If it
They
was the
did.
last one or the middle one, um, whichever one it was, um, no, no bullshitting. Morris and my wife both jumped. Like it scared them. I looked over like, what the fuck? Especially Morris, like for one, he's sick and on meds, but It takes a lot for Morris to what be watching something and jump out of scaredness. And they both, I think it was the middle one at the very end of the vignette, whatever happened. And they both lit, and I'm doing it like you guys can see me. They like shook. Like, okay,
Well,
well,
Jeff Dunham is stretching out his boundaries, going from comedy to
oh,
horror.
Oh God!
good grief.
And once again, this week, Dakota Kai actually commented on the Bray Wyatt stuff. She's like, "Well, ventriloquist dummies have always scared me, so I'm not going to be able to unsee this."
Dakota Kai's number one. Dakota Kai's the best.
Well, she's not the only one who doesn't like ventriloquist dummies.
You,
Oh,
AA?
details. Details.
Except for Ahmed.
Bull Ahmed's hysterical.
Now we need details.
I just
When'd
don't
you get?
care for them because I've seen too many horror movies with them, and they creep me out like clowns.
Oh, here's
Here's,
Chucky.
I will second that. Fuck clowns.
Thank you.
Fuck them.
What the hell?
What did Doink
My
ever do to you?
right?
Well, Doink wasn't scary. He was just
Tell us what. Tell us what circus you were hurt at. My wife like has. I don't know if you guys actually have phobias of clowns. My wife does. Like a straight phobia. She has a phobia of clowns and anything feathered, which is funny as fuck because we have guinea birds that roam the neighborhood and they stay in our yard a lot. And she will one of two things: either she freezes up right then and there and just hollers, "D, help!" or she comes flying right the fuck back in the door.
when I was a. This is story time with Adam now.
Oh God.
When I was a kid, I'm talking little. Bite me. We had a little clown doll, like marionette, but that wasn't what it was. And it would sit on the dresser in my bedroom,
I just went full Megadeth.
just
Marionette,
like marionette.
marionette.
Um,
Yeah,
and I
you're
wouldn't move it. I would just let it sit there. Well, when the lights were turned out, guess what's staring back at me in the fucking darkness? This fucking clown. Ruined me on clowns forever. Now I can handle the circus because a lot of shit's going on, or Ronald McDonald and the McDonald's because I'm a fat person. Nothing can make me savage. Nothing can scare me around the double cheeseburger and a small
right.
fry.
Like I'm
It's
getting my food,
impossible.
motherfucker. I don't care.
But this clown would sit on the corner of this dresser and just stare at me, and I would wake up
There's a
and motherfucker staring at me. So I was like, you know what? We're done with the clowns and the pain. To no, fuck this. I'm done.
are you trying to say you're not down with the clown?
No, no.
I swear to fuck, I can't believe I just did an ICP reference.
Yes, you did, and you should feel bad.
I do. Somebody I know, in their backyard
The monster.
found found and saw a tortoise and swore to fuck it was a monster.
It was a huge tortoise.
No, what's a monster is that fucking dinosaur that killed that dude in Florida last week.
God damn.
No, I was a little girl, and somehow this is in Texas, and somehow a huge tortoise got in our backyard.
You didn't
Ev-
have to name my state. You could have left that part out.
And we still don't know how it got into the backyard. And I was outside playing and I saw it. I'd never seen a tortoise before. So I go running into my mom, yelling, "There's a monster in the backyard. There's a monster in the backyard." So mom goes out to check what it is, and it's a tortoise.
To be fair, weren't you like three,
I was 3 or
three or
4.
yeah, not
Fuck.
8, scared of a damn clown sitting on
I
the
was a little
dresser.
younger than 8, sir. Bite me. Fucking clowns.
Well, okay. If we have any listeners, any friends, um, I've always brought up I have one phobia that everybody thinks is funny as fuck, but I've never said what it is. You want me to tell you what it is?
Ray
Miller
I
Ripley.
think
moths.
I think AA already knows.
It's Miller moths because I have a phobia of those things too.
What?
Miller moths.
No, pfft.
I do.
Does that mean you
I
also?
get you. I don't. I don't go. I've in my snake thing, my arachnophobia isn't really a phobia. I'm gonna kill it if I see a snake. But I have one irrational phobia. Before I say mine, Matt, do you have any phobias? Because mine's gonna, y'all, 6'4", 220, and I'm scared of this. Matt, what do you have? What are you scared of?
Becky
The
Lynch
iconic.
losing the title.
Oh, God damn it! I was saying the iconics losing the belt.
You said what about the Iconics?
Oh,
Nothing.
jackass.
Nothing for 20 seconds. You say iconics, he's suddenly paying attention.
Do you have any phobias?
I want to know who said it.
I did.
What did you say, Mr. Mox?
Do you have any phobias like the Iconics winning the tag team championship
Losing.
Phobia.
or losing?
Oh, in that case. I mean, they should never lose those tag titles. You know
Oh,
why?
for fuck!
You know
He's
why?
not.
We opened the door. That
And
was our fault.
did streak last week.
I apologize.
Yeah, you should.
Okay. Besides that, Matt, do you have any phobias?
Honestly, not really.
Well, besides losing tires, I don't know if that's a phobia or just a trend.
It was
Sorry.
more of an annoyance than anything.
Okay, so yeah, grown ass man, 40, 6'4", 220 something. Um, I can't admit this on air because then it's out there
No.
forever.
Hey, it can't be any worse than having a phobia of Miller moths.
Oh, it can, and it is.
Sir.
Fine, balloons.
Okay.
Alright, yeah, I'm gonna have to digest that, but I won't say anything. Yet.
It's still not as bad as being scared of Miller moths.
What the fuck is a Miller moth? For one,
It's, those little moths.
I know what a moth is, but what's a Miller moth?
It's a type of moth.
I graduated from college, and I'm from
Well,
Texas. Sir,
Okay, they're called Millers up here. They may be called something different down south. But they're brown. They're
oh, we
they're
just
a
call them
brown moth.
moths.
Okay. Well, we call them Millers up here.
Morris is scared shitless of moths, by the way.
See, I'm not the only one.
No,
He's in good
like
company.
the one bug that gets in the house that can't do anything, and he's scared. Like he actually broke a TV one time because a moth was flying around in the living room, and he threw a shoe to try to get it because he was so scared, and just cracked the damn flat screen.
Well, the
And
problem
it's that
is
time of
them
year.
things fly at your face, and they're just dirty, and they're disgusting, and they're icky, and I'm
Yeah.
scared of them.
Same with balloons. Balloons serve no purpose.
I think we've gotten off the plot here, ladies and gentlemen.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my! Yeah, this is a wrestling podcast.
This always happens.
But just like the Riot Squad, let's go full circle with it. We're just friends talking, and sometimes we get off on topics that don't involve wrestling and just let you into our lives and what makes us tick and how we operate. And yes, I have a phobia of balloons, specifically helium balloons. Any balloon, like I can touch a balloon. I will even blow him up for Morris, tie him so he can. But once I blow him up and tie him, he better get the fuck in his room to play with them, cause he likes bouncing them. You know where they bounce them up, and you know, how many times can he bounce them before it hits the floor? But you do that out of my sight. Yeah,
Listen,
I'm real fun on birthday parties. I'm just a fucking riot squad.
oh, I am not pleased with that pun, sir.
It was better than Matt's first one.
I like Matt's first one.
So,
With
oh, I don't remember.
um,
So we had the Brave
which
Pro, the
one?
we had the Brave vignettes. All three, they were all basically the same. Um, except for the one with the doll, that was a little creepy. Um,
uh, we can't talk about Bray without interjecting. Luke Harper has requested his release from
his
WWE.
release. Um, they missed an There was a window with him. They're going into Mania a couple years back.
Yep,
He was hot. Fans wanted him, and then
and they didn't just miss it; they completely
ignored it.
fucking yeah. Didn't even have him in the match. Excuse me. And I know some people rationalize like, well, you know, Randy versus Orton is what, or Randy versus Orton, Randy versus Bray is, but he was part of the storyline.
They were telling us a story, and then decided we were only going to get 2/3 of it.
And we got Big Sperm
In Treehouse of Horrors,
and cockroaches on a
yeah,
match.
I'm burning down a shed. We got
How
they.
was he face again?
I don't
I'm
know.
burn down your house, motherfucker. Cheer me. Like, how is he
I'm
the
burned
face in
down,
that feud?
and they were moving a body in the middle of the whole thing.
Yes.
I don't know what they were thinking, but the bottom line is they missed an opportunity to ride a hot hand for a little while. I'm not saying Harper would have sustained that all the way through Mania and past it.
No, but at least ride the wave while it's there.
I mean, and so they missed their opportunity with him. They never really got his heat back. He got hurt. I
And
guess
you
the
want to
match.
talk about a great big man, and he's actually a big man. That's Brody Lee, Luke Harper. He's phenomenal in the ring. not to use an AJ.
He's not an AJ
Uh,
Styles or Bryan or Kofi or insert guy
no,
here.
but
He's a big guy who looks the part, who can work. They're begging for
absolutely,
that. They're
and
getting ready to try to sell us on Lars Sullivan.
and
And
I just don't. How do you not see? And this is where AA is going to get a lot of time because of the CCW Brody Lee days. How do you not see what you have in Luke Harper, but see what you think you might have in Lars? Like I like Lars in NXT, and then all this shit happened on the call up, and
some of the other things that he has apparently
yeah,
been attributed
that's
to his saying.
yes, in forums and stuff. I wasn't going to elaborate on that, but that's what I meant by
It ain't great, folks. We won't
no.
go into it here, but it ain't good.
AA, being a Brody Lee fan, a Luke Harper fan, a quick synopsis of what he's done in WWE, his requesting his release, and where would you like to see him next?
I'd like to see him go to New Japan because he could do a lot there.
I said the same thing yesterday.
He
You and
would
I,
be fire in New Japan. He would be fire in CMLL
eh, y- yeah,
if they did it right.
they'd have to, yeah. I was seriously, and I just said this yesterday. Hey, will you grab me a six real quick? I just walked all the way over. I just said this yesterday when it came out that he asked for his release. Like, I'd like to see him in New Japan, and I said, or MLW
He would be
because
awesome in MLW.
MLW leans more to the CZW, like the Brody Lee we knew before he became Luke Harper style.
And just to have a little bit of a fantasy for a second.
Sir, Tony Storm's not coming to your house.
No, sir, that you want her to come to your house.
Who do you think I just asked to get me a six pack?
Right. And second, could you imagine putting a guy like Jim Cornette with someone like Brody Lee?
Oh shit!
Not that
Could you
Brody Lee.
imagine Brody Lee attempting to kill somebody with a tennis racket? Because I can.
That I want to see Brody Lee versus Jacob Fatu.
Oh, that'd be phenomenal. That'd be
Gimme,
great.
gimme. I don't know if they're going to be able to afford whatever he's going to be asking out on the independents. And the other thing we have to realize is Harper's old.
Yeah, I was about to say touch on that a little bit. He's older. Now he's married with two kids. Um,
I mean, he's 39. I mean, that
thank you for that.
he doesn't have another 7 to 8 years.
Well,
If he's
you say
lucky,
that.
maybe. But this is a guy who's had some injuries.
True, which is another reason why his WWE run didn't quite work out the way some of us wanted it to.
But I see Luke Harper and I instantly think about Dean Ambrose.
Of course.
Because, again, this is a CZW alumnus who WWE fell in love with, but they wanted to fall in love with the PG version. They fell in love with the rated R characters and then tried to make them fit into a PG environment. And with in the beginning with the Wyatt family, it almost worked. But where they
And it
botched the Wyatt family out of the gate was they they gave too much too soon and then didn't build them the way they should have been built. You should have built the Wyatt family the same way you built the Shield. There was room for it. Harper and Rowan tag champs, Bray a singles belt of some kind, and actually show them to be as dangerous as Bray is making them sound. They didn't do it.
Like their NXT run, if they would have continued that into
The main
the
roster.
the main roster platform, either brand at the time there was no brand split, but were scary motherfuckers. That's what
This
they were.
Bray wasn't was not some supernatural soothsayer in NXT. He was a more grounded cult leader.
Yes, very quiet. Uh, when he spoke, you listened. Like a cult leader, like a Jim. I'm not gonna give him credit with his last name because fuck that bastard.
I know whose
But
name you were getting ready to say because I saw the story they did on it the other day.
but like that. He didn't have to holler to get his point across. That very soft spoken, and I'm kind of trying to do it by accident in here. Um, but just that you're paying attention because, oh shit, that's trouble.
Yeah, he wasn't talking about being all fantastical and mystical. He was trying to get to you because he was talking to you like he was trying to reach a lost soul
Oh,
sitting there
Matt,
in the first row.
Matt, you took over Adam's microphone, Matt.
Yeah.
Oh god. Uh but that's what he
Now
was
I have to,
doing.
Matt. Now I have to hear it. Do a Bray promo.
They lying to you, man.
Yeah, that
Well,
was
that was short and sweet.
but it pays to be short and sweet when you're trying to do a Bray Wyatt promo. Because those
This is
son of
true.
bitches could drag. But
Kind of like him as Sister Abigail, or is that off base?
why did you? Oh, it. So they botched with Luke Harper. I wish him all the best because it sounds like he will be granted his release.
Yeah.
Um,
It's just what does he do from here?
if he
Same thing, kind of basically with Dean Ambrose. Like they're both older. They both Dean doesn't have kids with Renee yet or anything, but um, like wrestling doesn't have to be I have to wrestle until I die thing.
right, and we get wrestling also is not a true meritocracy.
Right.
You're in someone else's hands in the wrestling business. You're given a chance to go out and perform and you try to generate something to make the people who have the yes or no levers try to push you in that direction. My apologies. But
Were you yawning and coughing at the same time?
I was trying to stymie a cough.
Ah,
Um, and while we're on the topic of Bray, it sounds like Sanity's no more.
yeah, they're dead
Which is, I'm sorry, no great loss.
because
Nikki
like
Cross
previous,
is the only thing that ever mattered about that group.
well that
And Eric Young is Ambien personified.
damn dog,
They
and they never made them matter. Not
right, they
once.
not
Not
once.
once.
It sounds like Alexander Wolf might be heading back to NXT. There's nothing set in stone there, but there was some rumors that the WWE might send him back to NXT. If they do, good. It's how it should be. Hell, send him to NXT UK. Let him play a little bit closer to home. Uh,
Send him to the Chinese Performance Center for all I care.
well, yeah, I mean, Alexander, when it comes to the work in the ring of the three male parts of that group, um, he may have been second, something because Eric Young was behind him.
Ooh, but there was a time that Eric Young wasn't, and you know better.
Yes.
Uh, but
Thing is, EY, I
now,
just.
yeah,
So if he does go to NXT, great. EY, I think, is going to be on Raw now.
yes.
And do we know where Killian Dane's going?
I saw a tweet earlier. I can't remember what it said about Dane. Um, Fuck it, put him with the War Raiders.
God. See, that thought crossed my mind. They're going to package these guys, and then they're going to do nothing. Because what do you do with three big, beefy guys? What
Have
can you
Vince
do?
come out with them every time and say, "There's a lot of beef in the ring."
Look at him! Just
Uh,
look at him!
you are seriously pulling all of Metal Mats.
I can't do Vince. I don't want to just start puking blood.
Oh God.
What?
Um,
And he just randomly, like, he he's on the podcast. He's a co-host of the podcast, and he's just randomly listening. Like, what? Did
What?
somebody say something?
he's deep into Miss Pac-Man land. I should not have said that.
At the
I,
moment.
Oh, sir, sir,
I,
sir.
that was a poorly used words.
Yeah, that Ohio State degree coming through.
Hush you.
And
Uh,
what do you think about um?
the death
Because
of Sarah.
apparently it's going to happen. Luke Harper's leaving WWE, and I know
In
you're a
a,
fan. Yeah, and you've been a fan before he even came to WWE. Um, what are your thoughts on what he does post WWE?
I hope he finds somewhere where he's really utilized and he's allowed to show what he can really do. He's been so held back and limited to what he's actually capable of. And
Do you
he's a
think he?
great actor.
That's what I was where I was going. Do you think he sticks with the wrestling thing for a few years before he moves on to a different career, or
I don't know. It depends how his body's holding up.
well, apparently when with his latest injury, he got in a lot better shape. I mean, for a dude his size, like he was always in good shape. I mean, look at some of the moves he's done. But apparently he got in better shape. But like Rice brought up, he's 39, and like I brought up, he's got two kids and a wife. Um, and like again, you brought up, dude's actually a really good actor. I
but
don't. I would love to, like I say, I'd love to see him in New Japan or MLW. Can we quit with this nonsense of everybody that's quote unquote leaving WWE goes to AEW? Like that's
do you mean that T-shirt company?
yeah, like ooh, okay. Oh, now we're selling tank tops. Okay,
Whatever.
dirty tank tops.
Whatever. They're hyping that Fighter Festival, being all clever about the Fire Festival. And, and
Uh,
Hangman Page literally said, "It'll be the Coachella of wrestling," and I went, "That's fucking supposed to make me buy a ticket."
Now I don't have. You just made me lose zero interest by mentioning Coachella.
Imagine trying to sell something like it's the Coachella of wrestling.
Do you remember when Lollapalooza used to be cool?
I remember when Lollapalooza was a thing.
It's not anymore.
Fuck, man. Imagine WWE trying to do an event and calling it the Lollapalooza of wrestling.
I'm surprised they haven't.
I mean, I'm talking late 90s.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't.
Smack dab in
Uh,
the middle of the Attitude Era. Fucking, they have like Raven doing the promos.
What about Raven?
what about me?
Yeah, I'm shocked they didn't do that. Remember when they tried to bring Woodstock back in the mid 90s?
I was about to say they tried Woodstock.
That ended up as a fucking disaster. Now I'm going to start going down a weird memory lane there. But
That clown on your dresser again, or how far
bite
back
me,
are we
sir.
going?
I'm just going to shut up. So,
Sir, you are no Finn Balor, sir.
you don't know that. You don't know
Sir,
how I.
yeah,
You don't know how I look in my trunks, sir.
sir, I've seen enough of you to guess what you would look like in trunks.
Please don't say that. The people don't need to hear that.
My
Uh,
bad. Edit, edit, edit.
so Brave promos. We're losing Harper. We're losing the sanity.
You
Fuck.
lost your sanity. Did you ever
Long time
have
ago.
any?
Long time ago. Um,
That fucking
the
clown really fucked you up.
yes, he did. Is this after all that we got? Let's just get to the Becky promo because
Okay, Matt, I love you. You know I consider you my brother. I love you to death. Like anything you ever need, I'm here for you.
but
Sir, I can actually use 50-cent words. However,
ooh, look at you.
Becky cut the same fucking promo on Raw and SmackDown. And if she would please, for everything holy, quit using dope.
What's wrong with that?
It was good the first couple times.
I think
Jericho always used Junior in his promos. Stone Cold would always use Son in his promos.
Sir,
okay.
Becky
First of
Lynch is
all,
no Jericho.
exactly.
Yeah,
Becky's not a
you're
Jericho.
right. You're right. She's better.
Oh fuck. Oh fuck.
I'm about to. Please tell me. I know AA is old enough. I don't know about you, sir. I was in wrestling with Jericho. You are no Chris Jericho.
Stop. Stop. Stop.
Does anybody get that reference? Anybody?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who? Then say it if you get it.
It was something to do with JFK.
No, something to do with RFK. Dan Quells,
Yeah. I
vice
remember.
vice
Yeah.
president
The
debate.
debate. Yeah.
Yeah.
When that motherfucker managed to step in literally every minefield along the way. I remember Bobby Kennedy, sir, and you are no Bobby.
That's not what he said. And he did.
It's same
Close
difference.
enough. Yeah, close enough.
It Becky. It feels like what they're doing with Becky is that they're like, great, we found the character we wanted. Go do this. Here's
At the
the
same time, what am I supposed to do? We don't know. Go do it. Like, what am I? We don't know. Go. Your music's on. Go. Like, well, what am I? Go. Becky Two Belts. It's literally been 9 days. Becky Two Belts is already ruined for me.
They want her to be Conor McGregor when she's a better human being than Conor McGregor.
Well,
It is
that's a low bar, sir.
low ass bar, I get it, but they want her to be this.
Don't get me wrong. Like her promo is still good. Like that's not what I'm saying.
Why
I'm just
won't they
saying
let?
she literally said the same thing Monday.
Why won't they let Twitter Becky be TV Becky?
How the fuck do you use plank as an insult?
And it work.
It worked perfectly fine. Like I've never heard. Excuse me. I've never heard plank used as an insult. Holy shit! I read it today. Excuse me again on Becky's Twitter, and holy fuck did I not love it. And I'm gonna start using it.
Yeah, plank. It. She. She's clearly more free on Twitter. So why can't we let that freeness in that care that she knows what her job is. Becky's not stupid. She is one of the
It's
best
the job to
understandings of.
Alexa Bliss. That's her job.
Oh fuck. Becky has always had one of the best understandings of who her character is at all times.
Yes. Even going back to the Irish jig,
We don't talk
full
about
up
that stuff.
green. Yeah. Even then, that was her
So,
character. She bought into it. She sold it. It wasn't good. It was actually horrible, but she made it work.
but she's always understanding at the heart of who Becky Lynch in kayfabe is. On screen, who
And
Becky is. This
do we have
iteration,
what isn't brought up enough is Becky Lynch actually has some acting school stuff that has to be a part of it because
yeah.
literally we're doing podcasts for hours, a couple, sometimes 3 days a week, talking about actors playing characters on a show. That's what we're talking about. Let's be blunt and honest about it. And her acting school credentials are obviously there. I mean, we can debate all day, any day. I don't want to, but circular conversations are not my thing. But the acting ability is there with Becky, and you have to realize that she went to school for this. Am I making sense at all, or is the coding just
Yes.
completely taken over?
No, yeah, she understands her role, but my point is,
Oh God, you have no
and with
point.
what she's doing, that she did in the span of 9 days, she cut basically the same promo any chance she could, especially on television.
I'll be honest.
When
Even leading up, since Royal Rumble, it's basically on TV. Like Twitter's been a whole different ballgame, but on TV, it's basically been the same promo.
they have to vary it up. She is more than one note. Let the band play a little bit here.
Yes.
But aside from Becky, this is where they introduce basically the whole new SmackDown Women's roster with a few
Oh
changes.
God. And
Bailey
that go.
got oh, Canada doesn't like Bailey for some reason.
I blame Sasha.
Clearly,
I blame
Matt
Lana.
DSL. Well, Lana's like the obvious, like maybe
Lana?
assume I didn't really mean it, but um because I was looking for I seriously thought because like we brought up how long have we been on this podcast? Um I was seriously waiting for a "We want Sasha" chant to break out, like even during the opening segment, the Mustafa Ali Finn Balor match. I was just like,
Waiting for
there's
it.
gonna break out with a "We want Sasha" chant somewhere in here.
Yeah, but man, Bailey hit the ring and it wasn't cute, y'all. It wasn't good. Bailey got pretty much buried under an avalanche of um uh
Take your time. We know
I,
you're just
I just lost my
learn.
train of thought.
We know you're just learning
Shut up.
how to speak and read and
She got
take your
buried under an
time.
avalanche of booze, and she never recovered. There was no recovery. There was nothing she was going to say to get that Montreal crowd on her side. Um,
And there's a point where it's not Bizarro World Model. Like that's just that wasn't random. If I don't know how to elaborate more than um I don't know if that's the Sasha stuff going on because most of that crowd knows what's going on with the Sasha stuff the past week. But yeah, there was no "Will you be my girl?" That
there
was
was
not happening.
no. That was get the fuck out of my range of vision. That's what that was. But then the Iconics came out. Paige introduced her new tag team, which is Kyrie Sane and Asuka. We kind of went over that. That's fucking lazy. It's smacks of pure honest to God. Well, they're both Japanese, so why not?
I mean, just
And
it makes sense, right? They have to be related or something, right? They're both
of course
Japanese.
they have chemistry. They look exactly the same. I know
Yeah,
I said it, but that's what they're thinking.
I mean, Gail Kim 2.0 and 3.0, right? Like all Japanese porn looks alike.
You
All
said
Asian
that.
porn's the same.
You say that for a reason.
I will say this because, and I have to touch on this because not only did I kind of verbally say it, but my 10-year-old son Morris said, because during this, Lacey Evans comes out. And since Lacey Evans has been doing whatever the fuck that is you want to call
Fuck
since
all.
her
She's
call up,
been doing fuck all.
Renee Young has been drooling. Oh, that's a lady right there. That's a just disgusting of Renee's, and that's really not about SmackDown, but I failed to mention this.
It, so Lacey comes out. We got the Ember Moon makes her return in, quite frankly, one of the fastest comebacks from injury I've ever seen. Remember, she busted her elbow, wrestled in the women's Rumble match at the Rumble, takes time off, has surgery. She's back the week after WrestleMania. Well, no, she made it. She came back at Mania.
Can I finish?
Yep,
Can I finish? Can I
yep,
finish?
yep,
Can I finish?
yep.
Can I finish?
Yes.
Can I finish? Oh.
Dog says no.
Perfect timing.
Damn it. But Renee completely mid commentary turning on Lacey Evans.
It's because they don't have a continuity person.
Because she saw that there's someone better.
Well, no, because Becky's been on the show the whole effing time. So it isn't that she saw someone better. It's that they've told her mid sentence in her ear, stop building up Lacey Evans. She's a heel.
We've gone through what 2 months now, 3 months of the Lacey Evans, and every time she shows up, Renee's just drooling over her and how she's first class and how that's every woman should act like that, and she's a true lady. And mid commentary, she starts off with the true lady of WWE, and almost mid sentence, except Corey says something and then goes right back to Renee, and Renee's like, basically, fuck Lacey Evans. I can't stand her. Morris pointed that out too. So a 10-year old going back to the your this position they're seeking, the continuity. A 10-year old noticed, like, didn't Renee
Just
like
let me
Lacey
take
Evans?
a.
Like, yeah, she did, like, for 2 months and 2 seconds ago. And then shit all over her. And then Corey Graves is the one taking up for her.
Guess we know who Corey is. I'm not gonna go there. Not.
Sir,
I'm a good
sir.
person. I'm not gonna go there.
No, you're not.
That's true too. But Ember comes out and during this, and don't we have a 6-woman tag then that breaks out?
Yeah,
Bailey
if you want
in
to
the
call it
new
that.
whatever the hell happens. We have a brawl, tag teams. I think it ends with Kyrie Sane hitting the insane elbow,
Yes.
which Peyton Royce doesn't sell at all.
What doesn't she
Completely,
sell
like,
at all?
Kyrie Sane finisher. She laid there.
Because she
Oh,
got hit by an elbow.
but she didn't react to getting hit by the elbow.
yes. Like,
She
a
got pinned
norm.
1, 2, 3. She was out for the count, which is another issue I have, but that's another story.
Hey, buddy, they're tag champs now, and they're gonna get that we don't give a fuck booking.
An unconscious person. What if their muscles just instinctively would have moved a little?
Yeah, Peyton just laid.
Well, you did say a normal person, a normal unconscious person, maybe, but they weren't iconic.
Uh,
Way to go, Matt.
and just a little piece of me dies every time.
I'm
Um,
I'm too old for this shit.
I
yeah.
mean, I cannot believe that they're treating the tag team champions this way. The tag team champions. I mean, for God's sake, they ended an undefeated streak last week.
Oh, jeez.
They
Jesus.
deserve more respect than that.
Hey, they were pretty. We need to seriously just recognize that they don't give a fuck about these tag belts. They're not going to get championship booking. They're just not. And now that they have to try to clean up a mess that they themselves themselves made because of it.
It's an iconic mess.
It damn sure is. The, the, the,
Matt, again, love you to death. They have fucked this up big time. They've just, there's no other way to put it. And I know I'm being blunt, and you might not agree. Um, if they wanted the belts on the Iconics, put it on them to begin with. Not like this. They've royally, like they tend to do, fucked this up.
they are now in a situation of their own making, and I'm have fun unmaking this bed because I don't see an easy way out. Unless you're willing to acquiesce to whatever Sasha comes to the table with.
Do you ever make your bed?
There's no easy way out. There's no shortcut home.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm out. They don't care about these belts. They didn't care about them when they gave them to Bailey and Sasha in the first place. They didn't give a damn about them enough to give them a reign worth anything. They didn't give a damn about them enough to at least let them defend them at WrestleMania. They've put them on a jobber tech team. They don't care about the tag team they
Jobber
put
tag
it on.
team.
You heard me. They
They
didn't care.
end an undefeated streak.
You're gonna make me just drink bleach, and I have experience with that. I'm a Browns fan. They didn't care about enough about the type of people they put it on to then to do anything with them before giving them the belts. And now they don't care enough about the champions they have to give them the booking the champions typically get. So what does that give us?
Jack?
Shit.
Thank you.
A jack left town.
Exactly. So you,
Hey, that's him agreeing with us.
I know.
No, I'm just making an Army of Darkness reference.
Nope, nope, no, sir. Nope.
We're taking
There's
it.
no rev. Yep, we're gonna take this win here. You agree with us? They're
They
giving us jack
so
shit, and Jack left town, so they're giving us shit.
giving us nothing. They're going to give the Iconics nothing, and God help whoever's going to challenge them now, because they're getting
Why would
big.
they? Why would they? Because you know what? Kyrie Sane and Asuka, they may be undefeated as a tag team, but the Iconics have history of ending undefeated streaks. Kyrie Sane and Asuka are just going to be next on the list.
Oh God,
See
please! You're
what you
giving
started.
me a hernia.
Do you see what you started?
Me?
Yes.
Uh,
I knew better than bring this match up. I knew better.
well, here's the thing. We have to talk about this match because that segment was shit.
Well, of
Eh,
course.
just everything about it. Bailey saying she's a singles competitor now. Boss and Hugger broke up. So much for that. Just everything
The
about it
night
was.
before, she was with that. Uh,
Someone said Naomi kicked Bailey to Raw for messing with to SmackDown for messing with her hair.
oh God.
I thought that was funny. Um, we had something else happen after this. What it
No,
was,
we
I
didn't.
don't. Do you want to talk about Vince McMahon?
Yes.
No, look at the sadist out of the four of us.
So at the end of
The one that
the
I
end of the
actually
night,
saw that on YouTube.
you did.
Yes.
So Vince comes out and does his spiel.
Elias.
Before that,
It's the same segment, sir.
I know, but that part didn't happen first. Vince comes out, and Montreal is booing Vince because, of course, they are.
Well, of course.
And what's the
Let's just
first
go ahead and
thing?
say, because this is 22 years later,
Yes,
Montreal will always hate Mr. McMahon.
Montreal will always hate Shawn Michaels.
That too.
It would have been great if
Montreal,
Shawn.
who's your daddy?
Oh, God
Oh,
damn it.
shit.
This guy, there is no escape.
Vince comes out, and the first thing he does is, "Man, I always really like being here. I just Vince just digging. It's a 2 decade old knife, and he's still twisting that motherfucker. Uh,
And,
I
and
appreciate the commitment to it, but come on.
I mean, they're Canadians. I don't mind it.
Yeah, that's true. So,
So the big, the biggest SmackDown signing in history, which is why we have Mr. McMahon
as if
introducing him,
they were
is what?
as if they weren't already signed to the company, like Vince went out and signed somebody or something. Shit. I secured the biggest acquisition in SmackDown history. They all work for you!
So,
All of them!
I
Fuck.
mean, it could have been Rob Gronkowski. You never know.
I do know, sir. And the answer is no.
The biggest acquisition in SmackDown history is WWE stand for. One of
Walk
you motherfuckers better say it,
with Elias.
World Wrestling
sir.
Entertainment.
Sir, can we mute him?
Why?
I love Elias so much. Oh, I'm used to his nonsense. But no, go find a tire, sir.
I did.
But as soon as because I'll say to going back to the Raw shakeup, um, where the mystery partner for Seth and Roman, like I was all over the place. Like, could it be AJ? Could it be, you know, who could it be? And wife called. It's gonna be AJ. And sure enough, it was. This time I called who the actual acquisition was, but before we get there, and Elias does what Elias always does, which is great stuff, and shits on Montreal the best way you can, and that's shitting on the Canadians, the hockey team. ENS, not ANS, like not all of Canadians, just the hockey team, the Montreal Canadiens.
Let's be honest.
Oh,
It's fun to shit on Canada.
it really is. It's like one of my,
Sorry, Five.
not
And
really.
underscore. But not really. Um,
Dennis opens Google. Where's
right.
Canada?
Right.
Motherfucker, you live there.
Live in Canada.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry. Um, and then didn't they do
But
Lashley too?
no.
I thought that for some reason they teased Lashley, but whatever.
Lashley came earlier in the show.
Right. You're right.
But so once he announced the ladies and gentlemen, Elias, I was like, okay. My pick that I said earlier that it's gonna be Roman, it's gonna be Roman. And sure enough,
Psst, that music hit
so we have Roman Reigns on SmackDown.
was, and what does Roman do?
Superman punch everyone.
Not just everyone.
Even Vince.
Vince got it.
I don't want to. I don't want to get fired.
Everybody in the ring.
Mr. McMahon. Mr. McMahon. He super punched Mr. McMahon.
Right. And Vince sold it like a 73-year-old man would sell.
Well, how the
Vince
fuck
can
else is he
sell.
supposed to sell it?
Well, Vince can sell.
He's sitting there like Elias is like trying to shake him like he just had a stroke. And Vince almost has his tongue hanging out of his mouth. I'm like, does Vince have fucking dentures? What is... Vince looks old as shit, and he looks older every time I see him.
Well, maybe Roman got out a little shoot frustration. You heard it here, folks. You
It
heard
was
it
a
here
shoot.
first. Yep, he's straight up. He just knocked Vince out.
Yeah.
Roman's
Uh,
pissed. Roman doesn't work Tuesdays.
Thank you, Paul. Um, and that's how SmackDown ended. It was a better show than Raw,
By far.
by far.
If nothing else, the opening segment and the opening match, the
It was
first
better than
20,
anything Raw did.
25 minutes, the first 25 minutes of SmackDown blew 3 hours of Raw out of the water.
Hmm.
Like completely.
So we talked
Um,
about the
let,
shakeup.
let me go to, speaking of the shakeup and what we just talked about, let me go to AA real quick since
Okay.
this is kind of her territory. So with Roman going to SmackDown, Seth staying on Raw, Dean's still working dark matches after Raw, so he's still with the company. But um, how are you feeling on the whole? There's there's no more Shield. There's no more Dean.
I'm okay with it because this is the way the Shield should have broken up in the first place. Dean should still be working, not dark matches, but he should still be on Raw and SmackDown and stuff. But this is how the Shield should have broken up in the first place.
just like a mutual separation thing.
Yeah, they go their own way, do whatever, and then when you get a faction coming in and they think they're all hot stuff and everything, then the Shield gets back together and knocks some sense into them.
Right. Like when the time comes, like, oh, we've
like the
got something
APA,
for you.
like the APA does.
Right. Hmm. I've pretty much, um, I guess 4, 5, maybe 6 podcasts ago, resigned myself to the Dean Ambrose news and leaving and stuff. But there were some rumors going around that they're gonna have a new member of the Shield.
They better not.
They it won't be the Shield.
Well, obviously,
It's like Ron Simmons can or JBL cannot have another person in the APA. It would not be the APA. The APA is Ron
well,
Simmons and JBL.
it worked for the NWO.
No, it didn't.
That was kind of my point. They thought it worked, and WCW is now um, archived on the WWE network. Yeah, and now that Roman's on SmackDown, like that rumor's obviously false. But
uh,
just my little old ass Mark Hart, like who could be the first? I was like, you just can't. You if Dean's leaving, you can't just like bring somebody in, as the new Dean. Like that, just I don't care who it is.
no, no, it
Like
ruins what the Shield stood for.
yeah. So are we officially saying the Shield's done?
Yes,
They are.
and they
And
Bye-bye.
should be. That's not a bad
Bye-bye.
thing.
That's the way. Bye-bye, bye-bye. I like it. Bye-bye, bye-bye.
Get
you are an
out.
asshole.
But
Hey, do you think we're done?
I think we're done with the Shield.
I know they're doing
Shame. It's a
on the
shame,
network
shame, shame.
that the Iconics are tag team champions. You're right.
Wait, what?
I know they're
I
doing
heard that. I heard that.
I can't remember exactly what day. Sometime this week, they're doing the
Sunday.
final ship Sunday, the final Shield match. That's a hell show. Um, and I'm not going to go into a big long thing about is Dean leaving or work or shoot or either way. I think we're done with the Shield, which is
Because we live in a world where everybody wants to be real, where everyone wants to be a shoot. This, my friends, is a shoot.
motherfucker. I'm about to shoot you.
Well, you've done just about everything you can do with the Shield right now.
Yeah,
yes,
It's
Yeah,
it's
pretty
and
much.
it's time for them to go, and then maybe
I
maybe a
wish
few
they would.
years down the road, bring them back in a reunion type thing, like an old school Raw or whatever.
Yeah, I'm saying like in 10 years, like a Saudi Arabia
sir.
reunion.
No,
Hey, hey, it had to be said.
I did not.
It sir.
I want to watch the Shield reunion if it happens.
Um,
And so you shall.
This is not
you know
from the
what?
Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
It's the same price on the network, sir.
Hell no. So,
Real quick, because I know
yeah, I'll
Adam
buzz
actually
off
has
here
to
in a
get up.
sec.
Yeah, you, you should have buzzed up a long time ago, but that's neither
Eat
here nor
me.
there.
Eat me.
But with Seth staying on Raw and Roman coming to SmackDown and Dean still working dark matches um, because his contract doesn't end until
April.
the
End of April.
uh, motherfucker. We're in April. The
I'm
end of
just saying,
April,
end of
beginning
April.
of May. Okay.
Grr.
I think this isn't because they brought it up so much on TV that like wait a minute, they don't ever bring that up. People leaving. I think this is true that he's gone, and even if it's not Seth and Roman are on different brands, uh, it's not soul crushing because they've already fucked up the reunion so many times through injuries or storylines.
It's
Mm,
so pressure for me.
Sir, we're talking about the show, not the Iconics.
Again, it's so crushing for me.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, I've known you for 3 years. I didn't know you thought of the show like that.
Honestly, yeah, because the Shield were one of my favorite factions, and honestly, there was a time where I was kind of not necessarily stop watching wrestling or anything like that, but it was a time there where I was just kind of disinterested in it. It felt more like a chore to watch it than I did. And the Shield, their subsequent breakup, and Dean and Seth feud along with Paige and AJ Lee feud. That's sort of what got me back into avidly watching WWE.
Why have you never talked about this before? I had no clue, dude.
Just the opportunity never came up, I suppose. But thanks to our sponsors, it
I
can come up for
fuck if
you.
you bring up the
Just go to
Iconics.
bluechew.com and you can get some help.
I have to say, for legal reasons, they're not actually our sponsors.
No, they're not. They're not.
Sir,
But
I
you
just
don't
thought
know
that was a
what
good
AA
segue.
and I do in corporate headquarters, okay? So you don't know if they are or they're not. Okay. You're just
sir,
here for the ride.
sir,
Sir.
is
Sir.
Blue Chew one of our sponsors?
I
No.
I I can't
Okay, thank you.
Ma'am.
You're,
Ma'am.
you're just here for the ride. And with bluechew.com, you can get
God
on
damn
the
it. Man, I honestly like I didn't know that.
Before you
And
say another word, try not to set him up.
like bluechew.com sets me up.
Oh God!
ride.
I know it's late, so we're not gonna which I need bluechew.com since it's late.
Sir,
Um but Matt, we will if you don't mind, I know it's late now, but maybe next Tuesday's episode. I didn't realize um because it's never been brought up or I've never seen
Mhm.
what the show meant to you.
Yeah.
And I want to go more in depth with it because A and I have obviously talked a lot about the Shield, and but I didn't know that they when you're losing interest that they're one of the reasons. I found out something new today, and I want to know more, but it's again getting late.
I mean, we can talk
before
about it now. But I mean, there's really not much to say, honestly. Like when they were doing their program with the Wyatt family, I think that's really what kind of piqued up my interest a little bit. Like, okay, this is actually pretty cool.
The original Shield, like in their first format, like you said with the Wyatt family,
Hmm.
did you have a favorite amongst the three?
Um, at the time, I was very partial to Seth.
Blonde Streak
I
Seth.
loved all three of them, but Seth was probably my favorite.
Huh.
Especially due to the fact that he was sort of like the risk taker, like diving off of like the balcony during that Extreme Rules match with Evolution and all that.
Seth was the spot guy.
Yeah.
Dean was the talker. Roman was the power. I honestly, and I'm sorry for to the three of you and to our friends listening. Like I honestly didn't know that um, the Shield meant that to you, and that it was a topic of them like being done. I'd like to dive into later because I love that those kind of stories of other people's memories and how other things affected people. And like I say, I've known you for forever, and I just now found that out that huh, I just always assumed it was Becky Lynch that brought you back into wrestling.
Well, her too, in a way. Like when I first started watching NXT, like she was one of the first people that I really enjoyed, along with Sasha and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn and all that.
Hey, did you have a clue that Matt was a Shield guy?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, and
You guys think I
I'm
was a Shield?
I'm literally I'm not stumbling over words. I'm kind of and I don't want to say at a loss for words, but I never I never knew that, and now I want to know more because we have a wrestling fan, a lifelong wrestling fan that apparently, like in his words, got de-interested in it and came back due to the Shield, and now I want to know more, but it's getting late. But we will definitely talk about this
Uh, before we
because
go, I did want to have a quick discussion about something.
oh god, before I get started,
I have
uh,
something to say.
okay, Rhonda. I just wanted her to say that if she's gonna fucking do that mic drop and come back and come back and come back, like, before I get started, I have something to say. Like, what the fuck does that even mean? But because and seriously, guys, help me remember next Tuesday
Hmm.
or the next VWP, because the Shield has touched all four of us in different ways. Let's have that as a topic
Yeah,
of
I
two
mean,
minutes, 15 minutes, whatever.
mhm.
And how from 2012 their call up and then the chair shot heard around the world and since. Let's bring that up as a talking point next week. But what do you have to say?
um, I wanted to take a final stab here at the shakeup this year. And the reason I did because I was thinking
I
about
wish they
this
would have taken
earlier.
a initial stab. They just literally threw
Not,
darts.
yeah. Well, it looks like that's what they did. Um, WWE has a problem, many problems, but the biggest significant problem is the size of their roster. And with the recent number of individuals requesting their release, I think it's high time we need to have the discussion about firings.
Mm.
It's time for this company to trim the fat.
It
And
really is. We cannot
and
keep losing good workers.
Well, it's not just good workers or anything like that. It's there is too much. There's roster bloat.
and
Yeah.
that's what with the shakeup. And I'm just pounding my head on the steering wheel like that's gonna make a difference to anybody. With all you have in this shakeup, and
But
you
Mops, let's
still,
not steer you wrong.
oh god,
I'm dead.
hopefully my tires are not flat.
They weren't before. That pun did it.
Yeah, they're not flat. They're deflated. There's a difference.
Right.
But you won't be deflated for long if you go to bluechew.com.
Oh, for fuck's
Mox, please continue with your thought.
it. Like okay, we have a superstar shakeup. There's obviously going to be some call ups, but that's the problem. There's quote unquote obviously going to be some call ups. You literally just called up in the last few months 14 fucking people. Why are you calling up more people to do nothing?
I would love to take an episode of this show.
I'm free tomorrow. I'm off the rest of this week.
We could do a surprise, just a special episode or something, or just amongst ourselves. And what I would love to do is just take a look at this roster in black and white and cut it. Actually, talk about
I Black and
who.
White are still a tag team.
Oh, damn it, sir, sir. The name is Blackashay, and yeah,
Allison
uh,
White and Boomerang, something like that.
yeah. They we we need to have an open and honest discussion because one of the things I don't like to do is talk about other people's money. And when you talk about these contracts and people who should or shouldn't be fired, that's what you're doing. But
Yeah, it's a hard topic to talk about, but it's a topic that needs to be talked about.
It's all about the money.
again, lay
Uh,
off the coffee.
I didn't drink any coffee today, sir.
Um, there is entirely too many people on this roster. And I'm not
it's
just talking about the main roster either.
yes, overall in the WWE as a whole, there's so many people, and yes, I know the WWE is showing profits more than they ever have,
Hmm.
but there's so many people from your who's top of the ladder. Let's just say Brock, even though we're not sure about that, but let's say Brock, all the way down to the dudes, the women and men. I'm making what it 40,000 a year just at the performance center. There's so many people like you're alluding to. It's too much.
This shakeup only involved, what, 20 people overall? And yet but our initial reaction is one show absolutely won over the other, and that we're talking about another roster being decimated because they haven't used the talent they had efficiently enough to cover for any potential switches in the rosters.
And the big and for Matt's ears, I will not say the F word again. The big F up is
No, you can say it.
I can, but I won't.
Say it.
The biggest fuck up is
There we go.
these NXT call ups that came up a couple months ago, and what brand are they going to be on? What brand are they going to be on?
But they're going to be on both brands. But what purpose does that fucking serve?
Sir, you just went over our limit of saying the word fuck, so.
Fuck it.
But you see what I'm saying? Like, they're on both. Like, just. I don't get. Like, you have all these people that you called up, and they're on both brands until the superstar shakeup, and then that's going to be decided. And then you bring more people up? What the fuck?
We're going to have to. I didn't want you to know we don't have to talk about this forever. But I just wanted to maybe put the idea out there that maybe sometime here in the near future, we're going to take an episode of this show. And what I want to do is
I'm free tomorrow. Said it.
we can do it tomorrow, we can do it Friday, or sometime in the future. We don't have to do it
Friday.
immediately.
Friday
Either
we have to
Friday
do.
or
Friday we have
I'm
to do
not.
REA.
We're
It's
not.
not RAA. RAA.
I'm
R
not
A
saying.
E.
I'm not saying this is something that's going to happen immediately. I'm just
Oh
putting a
no, it's
bug.
happening.
I'm putting a bug in people's ear to saying I want to critically sit down and look at this roster and see where cuts can be made because they can be made. WWE does not have to be hoarding this talent. They're
Sir,
doing it.
sir,
With
putting a bug into people's ears is gross.
yeah, you're nasty, Russ. With the
Eh,
with the conception of we don't want anybody losing their job, but at the same time, just as a the aspect of
I want to fix things.
the bloated roster.
I want to see
Not
if
that we want to see anybody, unless it's Rhea Ripley who can get fired right now, and I would cheer.
Sir,
And
she's
that's
injured.
fire her ass. She's injury prone.
Fire Tony first.
So you shut your whore mouth.
And then put the belt on Jenny.
I'm cool with that.
Oh, I knew you would be.
For those that don't know, like my lowness of Rhea is kayfabe. Like I, but anyway, yeah, like look at and like you say, like not just main roster, like everybody they have.
we need.
And no,
We need.
we're I think I'm with you on the we don't want to see anybody losing a paycheck or being
Right.
left out in the cold.
I'm not saying. I'm not
But
calling for these people to be fired. What I'm doing is trying to take a somewhat analytical look, or just a critical look at the roster and going, "There's too many people. Where could they make changes?" And that's what I want to take a chance to do. But we'll talk about that down the road
there's
because
the Iconics should go. Oh,
Sir,
oh.
sir,
Well,
they ended an undefeated streak. They deserve to
I
stay as long as they
knew
I
that was
mean the
coming.
Iconics both don't have to go. Peyton Royce can stay,
I was about to say
but
half the
really,
Iconics can go.
but really, she's just like another Tori Wilson.
You son of a bitch! Don't you ever say that again.
So are you saying that she's also missing?
Future Hall of Famer.
Yes, 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 I am. But like I said, that's just something I was thinking of a little bit earlier. That of something that WWE
Hey, you up for that kind
could
of?
and should do.
You up for that kind of discussion?
Yeah, I am, but can't do it tomorrow night.
We don't have to do it
Mm.
tomorrow night or sometime this week. I'm just talking down the road.
Yep, I'm up for it.
With that said, it's time for me to go to bed. Gotta go do the
All hate
work
mail
then.
gets sent to at PWFan01 on Twitter.
And
All loving mail gets sent to.
But Adam, you're gonna miss MOW. Do you really want that?
I'll just have to live with myself. Um, and you can find me at Cage Side Seats in the daily and in the nightly. And for all you Texas A&M fans out there and Oklahoma Sooner fans, please send all your loving team support to Prince Moxley Lopez at Fireman 680909.
Oh, it's not a fucking number. God
Leave me alone.
damn it.
Leave me alone. And if anybody, and also his son is a totally big Baker Mayfield fan. So if anybody,
You, how dare you? Yeah, your severance package is coming this week.
that's what I thought. Thanks again, everybody. It was always an awesome show. Thank you for
Go fuck
listening.
yourself. Go fuck
And
yourself.
I expected that. And I'll talk to you guys next week.
No, you
Good
fucking
night.
won't.
Night.
Bye, bitch. Oh. Hello?
I'm still here.
Are we still live?
We're still live.
Oh. Hello.
What, did you think I shut the whole
No,
thing down?
everything went silent. Where's Matt?
I'm still here.
Noise. Oh, I'm gonna get rice. I'm gonna get. That's.
Well, he's still here.
Is he?
I still see him.
I still see him. But I want to hear about MLW.
Well, I finally got a chance to watch the Battle Riot special that they did. It was pretty good for the most part. Jimmy Havoc and Tom Lawler put on one hell of a match. Even though Cornette could not possibly care about Jimmy Havoc any less.
Speaking of going back earlier with Luke Harper, oh, Brody Lee versus Filthy Tom Lawler. That'd be a hell of a match.
Yeah, he honestly could work. MLW is in need of some main event hands.
And Luke Harper is actually that.
Yes. So the Battle Riot was pretty good. Dan Severn was number 2. Put the boots to MJF, who was number 1. And Jim
Obligatory.
had just
Fuck
had
it.
about an orgasm on commentary when Dan Severn came out.
Sir, language.
It's after 10. BWP After Dark.
What else happened?
So the Battle Riot itself was pretty good. The Blue Meanie was a surprise entrant.
Nice.
At the end of the day, LA Park eliminated Sammy Callahan to win the Battle Riot, which I thought was an interesting choice for a winner. Not the guy I would have chosen, to be honest.
Yeah, that's a weird decision.
Honestly, I would have chosen like Hio to LA Park over LA Park. I would probably would have chosen like one of the Hart Foundation or Sammy Callahan or somebody like that. Or Jimmy Havoc, maybe. Or just somebody
Yeah,
like that. I don't know. Gary Park, I feel, is not necessarily like the worst choice, but they could have done better.
I probably would have gone with Jimmy Havoc.
And we also got Brian Pillman Jr. defeating MJF in an upset victory.
Ha ha.
And in the main event, Elliot Park issued an open challenge, and it was to Sammy Callahan. Absolute chaos, and Elliot Park ends up getting the win. But perhaps the biggest news of them all, Selena Dioretta will be executive producing the May 4th episode of MLW Fusion.
I was waiting for you to say that.
Yeah.
Very
The
nice
website
for two
says
reasons.
MLW.com, an accomplished promoter and powerful player in sports and entertainment in Latin America, Selena Dioretta is one of today's most successful entrepreneurs, and she's only 22. 22! Oh my God! Goldberg! Why me? Why me?
Oh God!
Wait,
Say her name one more time.
what?
Say her name one more time.
Selena Dioretta.
Thank you. Oh, she's so. She has superstar written all over her. And yes, I'm that kind of person that looks means something, but not everything. But damn it, if that woman's not just good looking, but she she has it, whatever it is that everybody says. This person doesn't have it. This person has it. She has it. Dead silence. Dead air. Dead air. Dead.
Dead air,
Damn
dead
it,
air, dead
AA.
air, dead air, dead air, dead air.
I got Pink Panthered again.
We gotta love the Pink Panther.
I mean, it's fantastic to watch. Not so much when you're being mocked on a podcast with it.
I guess that's all we've got for this episode of VWP.
VWP, VWP, VWP. Um,
VWP.
we'll talk off air and be on sometime more about what Rice brought up and Matt and his. Because seriously, I know you said it's not that big of a deal, but I want to know a little bit more information about your love of the Shield and how it kind of brought you back into wrestling.
I mean, I even have like a Shield triple pack action figure.
Hey, so do I.
Well,
Well, I don't know if it's a triple pack per se, but it's like all their like elite figures in their Shield gear.
Morse says that. Morse also has, because somebody's, I'm not going to name names, they might be on the podcast right now. Um, somebody, 2 Christmases ago, sent Morse the 6 pack of Evolution Shield, and that's still not open and still on his bookcase like a souvenir. Never opened, never played with.
It'll be money. It'll be worth money in time.
It'll be worth love. Love is more important than money.
Aw.
He knows where it came from. For those that don't know, AA sent Morse. If I couldn't make it any clearer, AA sent Morse the the 6 pack of figures, Like it's a elongated box with Evolution versus the Shield figures. And he won't open it because he cherishes it because it came from, I won't use your shoot name, but it came from you, so he just keeps it on his bookshelf in the box. He loves you.
Oh, I love him too.
That's a hard task.
No, it isn't.
So he keeps those figures in mint condition.
Mint and box. Yeah, but like A said, I guess that's
That's a wrap.
yeah. I want to talk a little more independent wrestling. I brought up Shayla Hyde being on as a guest next Wednesday, 10 Eastern, 9 Central, 8 Mountain, 7 Pacific. Good grief, me in time zones. And that's gonna be fun. Like we've had plenty of guests. We've had Mercury Matt Yaden, we've had Ryzen. This is our first female wrestling guest, and she's also trying to get her younger sister. Well, she's not trying to. Her younger sister wants to get in wrestling, and so we're going to be talking about. That's going to be a fun episode. Matt, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Melmap15 and also on KSIC, saying on the daily and the nightly and the RE podcast. I'm not sure what day it's going to be on this week because I want to do it sometime this week. Friday, I end up going to work, so I won't be able to do it on Friday. I'm hopeful to try and do it either tomorrow or Saturday, but I will figure something out.
I told you earlier I'm off for the rest of the week, so I'm free tomorrow. If you still want me to
Yeah, we're
do
going to try and
something.
do it tomorrow
Okay.
on Unforgiven 2004.
Better than some of the other stuff you make me review. Hey, where can they find you?
Oh, you can find me on Twitter at Lady Rashana. You can find me in the Daily on Cage Side Seats, and you can find me on Twitch at Violent Wrestling Podcast, no G.
With that, thank you guys for listening. I'm really excited for a few reasons now for our next few episodes. Not just I'm tickled about Shayla coming on, but now the Shield thing and I'm really excited about what we're gonna be doing the next couple of weeks. So with that, I bid you adieu. Sweet dreams. Thanks for listening. And I guess we're out.
Good night, everybody.
Peace.